Just one time, bitch thick. All that money get flushed in a blend. Shut a dribble, go give me a ring. You got money, you don't gotta think. I was trying one time, bitch bang. Let the app now I get what you please. Feel like urgent when I'm on the scene. All these felonies they never seen. Got my cup like I'm Argentine. Like the second bitch stay on my screen. I'm addicted to hating on me. Don't know what it takes.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Today, working on the M3, of course. So far, pretty much taken apart all of the water pump stuff, whatnot. Really simple, honestly. The hardest part I thought was just pulling the pulley, the fan pulley, water pump pulley, off of the water pump. That was honestly the hardest thing, in my opinion, out of all of this. I went and replaced like the tensioner and stuff while I'm here, even the AC belt tensioner down there, and then I'm not replacing any O-rings, but you probably should. So you might be like, why are you not replacing them? Well, because mine look fine and I didn't order them, but I mean, mine are not flattened yet, so I don't think mine are gonna leak on either side. Tip though, when you remove this hose, just grab it from this side because the bolt's over here. Grab it from this side and just wiggle it. That helped me get it out pretty easy. And then I got lucky, this stayed on the inside of this, so shouldn't have any leaks there anyways. But I had to flush my whole system because pretty much, I mean, there's a little bit of coolant on the ground, unfortunately, but when I was flushing the motor, a bunch of brown crap came out of it. This thing's been sitting forever, so it had to be done. But it's very easy to replace. I bought everything off of Rock Auto for $200, including belts, the pulleys, everything, and the water pump. My problem was I had a P0128 code, and that code referred to our thermostat being stuck open because I can squish it, and the spring is open as it is right now, so it's not closing anymore like it's supposed to get the motor actually warm. So with that out of the way, everything will be nice and refreshed, considering I already refreshed this whole entire portion of the motor. I don't know if the Vanos was done yet, but this copper washer right here and this bolt doesn't look OEM. Looks like it was already touched and replaced at one point, so I might be okay there. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of 10mm bolts on here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10mm bolts. Whoa, that was slippery. And so that's the 5 10mm bolts there, and then you have the three 10mm bolts, 1, 2, 3 that are up on top, because this portion just slides into here. And then when you put the thermostat or the water pump back on, you got to be careful and make sure you get this lined up, which is the tube right there. But I got lucky, my gasket came off no problem, and then I just Scotch-Brited it a little bit. Made sure everything would be clean around the outside, and I'm gonna go and pressure wash all the extra grease and goop that's in here out, so it's nice and clean. I'll be nice and refreshed. I forgot to order this freaking one pulley, so I got one used pulley, but I can do that on a later date, not a big deal. And then obviously the AC condenser one down there, or AC pulley. But, oh, and I got this headlight fixed because I had a high beam problem. I just kind of found the wiring diagram that told me what wire this went to, which was the one sticking prong that's on the high beam switch there for the motors. I do have to angle them up, but that'll be for another day. So I'll start bolting this back together and I'll get right back to you. So after a little bit of struggle, the belts are in, new thermostat, obviously the water pump's tightened up. All these bolts here, the 3 up top and then the 5 for the water pump, are all 7.5 foot-pounds. I don't remember what that was in Newton meters. I just did the old German torque spec for the other pulleys and whatnot. Well, those are all good. Honestly, that hydraulic pulley though is a pain in the ass to get, like, to release the tension off of the belt. so you can slide the new belt on. It was very, very tough. But other than that, no other problems. We just got to fill it with coolant now, and then go from there. I kind of got lucky because I have an 06, so my shroud is a little bit different, and I don't have that upper piece, which is kind of nice, so I don't have to worry about the top of the belt or the hose right there hidden, so I could slide this in with the fan at the same time. So not a big deal for me, but probably a bigger deal for you guys. But that's it. And this all started because of that code. And most of you who know me know that if I have to do one thing in this entire shabam, I could have just taken off those 3 bolts and then the coupler itself, popped it off, and then just replaced the pump or the thermostat. But I mean, I figured, you know, these OEM water pumps, they come with a plastic impeller on the inside. So instead of ever having to really worry too much about that grenading itself, I just went with aluminum one, because the aftermarket one that they have from Euro parts is aluminum. So in my opinion, that's a better option. And obviously I bought all new Continental belts. That's your AC belt tensioner pulley, or accessory belt tensioner pulley, but it says without pulley, so I was a dumbass. I didn't order the right one. This is your pulley for the alternator. And then this was the tensioner for the AC condenser. And then I have a Gates thermostat. You guys can grab that too if you really want this one. You can buy an OEM one, but I don't think there'd be a problem with any of the Gates stuff. I gotta put that back on, gotta put that hose on, the shroud, and then fill the coolant. But for $200 versus FCP Euro, which was charging like $500, I think it was, for the total kit. I know that theirs includes the hoses, but I could have bought the hoses for, you know, I think it was like $10 a hose off of Rock Auto, but my hoses look fine, and I'm not going to replace them because I can replace them another day if I needed to. Not saying that FCP's parts are not good prices. Obviously, we buy stuff from there all the time. But just for this application, like, I didn't mind, you know, buying everything through Rock Auto, especially because I was buying everything else I needed that Rock Auto actually has that some other websites don't. So that's pretty beneficial, especially because I bought new motor mounts, because these are poly mounts and I do not want these. They vibrate the car like hell, and I don't like it one bit, because this has the solid rear diff bushings along with the rear subframe bushings, and then it has poly trans mounts, and then on top of that having the poly motor mounts. It's just not cool. But at least I can sell them now, because the OEM ones from Rock Auto were like $18 a piece. So I'm not too upset about that. But all this was to get rid of that check engine light, because I still got to go through emissions, because this has a temporary reg. You know how it works in Connecticut. It's not that great, and we're not like a dealer shop, so we don't have a dealer plate. But anywho, that's how you do that part. And then don't be a stupid guy like me. Make sure when you put that, there's a bolt right on this side for the water pump. Don't forget to put the hose back into it first, the metal pipe back in, and put that bolt through the hose's little bracket, the pipe's bracket, because I forgot it and had to take it back off and put it back on. And then obviously it's a pain in the neck to get this one back in, but if you pull off your secondary air pump pipe, you can get in there a lot better. Glad I remembered to check this right now, because I gotta put that back on. But I flushed out my entire system. I recommend that you do it. I just did it with water. You could do it with FCPs. They have liquid moly, the like flush system flush kit. You could buy that and do that. I just ran raw water through it. It worked good. Everything came out. So now I just got to fill the coolant back in, which is pretty simple bleeding process. You just lift up the front of the car, you open that bleed cap while it's running, and just bleed out the air. Not a big deal. All right. So as we can see, we got this corner of the car jacked up. I know you can see the side skirt getting pinched. Don't clown me. I ordered the jack points the new jack pads for it, so they're coming. But turn your car on, turn the heat up all the way. Turn the heat up all the way, 91. Fan on full blast. I'm just about done, as you can see. I haven't deleted the check engine light yet, but all you gotta do, since it's up in the air now, this should be your highest point, the little cap right here. All you gotta do is open it up and look for air to come out. So see all those air bubbles? Just open it a little bit more. You come back inside. Hold it at 3K for a little bit. So when you do that, you're making the water pump spin faster. So it can create any air bubbles or air pockets that it's gonna make. And then you can come back over here, over to your bleed screw, open it up. You see some more air come out like that. Let it bleed out. Oh no. There you go. And then just repeat that a few times. I should have just used the air bleeder, but I like doing it the old way, so that's basically what you got. This is the coolant you're going to use. Just get it from FCP. Comes concentrate, you dilute it. I diluted it with shop water because I only had a gallon and I want to drive this thing today to make sure everything's okay. But that's that. And you go back up, you check every once in a while, make sure that the coolant temp hasn't gone too high. Make sure it's sitting dead in the middle because that's exactly where it needs to be. And right now we're dead in the middle clearly, right where we need to be. Obviously the car is pretty much up to temp. Bam, bam, bam. I still have our engine light, but you know, it's gonna happen. I could delete it, but kind of want it to go away on its own so that way I know it fixed itself. That it fixed itself, that I fixed it. I know I have a stumbly idle. I'm thinking it's the fan, honestly, blowing the air around differently into this intake. Now I know this looks crazy. Well, listen, Austin had this stuff laying around and he was wrapping his intake, so I did the same with mine. I mean, I think he went a little bit more above and beyond. Oh, his isn't over here. But he was going to wrap something else with that stuff. I think he was going to wrap his throttle body or something. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. Yeah. He went above and beyond. Look at this guy. He wrapped this whole thing and even left it so you could see the logo. Crazy. And he wrapped this whole box. We get bored around here, so we do some wacky things, but right now, hey, look at this little guy. Being a little guy down there in an area where it shouldn't be. Anyways, so yeah, just keep double checking it, and every once in a while, pop this little guy open so you don't see any air come out. That's like ideally the goal, right? To get no more air coming out. Pop it open, lose that little bit of air, let some come out, close it back up again. Repeat until you feel comfortable with it. I mean, honestly, it's probably more than enough.